doing some pre-week analysis, starting out at the highest time frame, literally just the highest time frame, and then just going down. I'm gonna start doing this at the start of every single week because I already need to do it as part of my psychology rules. So I'm going to start hopefully doing this on live stream. Maybe sometimes I won't, but yeah. All right, let's get into it and go from the highest time frame down. So let me get chat pulled up on my phone, and yep, here we go. Getting chat pulled up on my phone. There we go. I'm gonna minimize this. All right, let's break everything down from the very beginning. So on Sundays, I will go further in detail into the higher time frames than I would normally when I do high time frame analysis. Okay, so let's switch over to my other screen here. Let's get rid of everything, and yeah, let's start out with yearly, just for fun. So this is just complete speculation, but something that I think is really fascinating that I've noted before is if you measure out this move down from the wick to the wick in 2000s, you'll get something that looks something like this, where the 4 to 4.5 is around this area. So mark that out here. Starting out on the highest time frame, something I've been saying for quite a while is if you measure out the .com bubbles 4 to 4.5 standard deviation, you get where we are now, which is pretty fascinating to me. I mean, you could clearly see this a little better on the 6-month chart. Well, yeah. Anyway, maybe the monthly chart makes it look a little better. It kind of all looks the same. All right, now let's move down to the next time frame here. Let's go to the 6-month, and I'm curious to measure this out. I'm actually gonna get rid of I want to get rid of the parentheses. Or I guess, you think it's useful to have the prices or nah? I don't think so. Okay. Okay, there we go. Fix that. I think this is interesting. Here we have the 6 month chart. You measure out the standard deviations of the 6 month manipulation. Check out, we hit this -1 pretty clearly, so I think that's pretty fascinating. So, like I was just saying earlier in the stream, I'm doing top-down analysis. So, essentially, I'm going on the highest time frame down to the lowest time frame. Since it's the start of the week, I'm going to do this at the very beginning of each week. I'm going to go really in detail on the higher time frames and then just keep going down. I won't be doing this every day, but I think since it's the start of the week, it makes sense to start at the highest time frame. So let's bring you back over to my other screen. Let's put this in here. Here is something else that is interesting. If you measure out the 2022 manipulation from the body to the wick, the -1 marks that local top. So I think that's pretty interesting. Go back to the other screen. There's other interesting things we could check, like for instance, I wonder how this measures out. You can see this got the top of this pretty well actually from the wick to the wick. So I guess let's go down in time frame here. Let's try measuring this out again. Same story here. I mean, let's measure out COVID. Was this COVID? This was 2018. You see the 4 to 4.5 called that pretty well. But this is pretty serious speculation, so let's probably just go down the time frame a little bit here. So now on the monthly, we have quite a more clear view here where we can pretty clearly measure out this. I mean, this is pretty clear. And we have not yet quite reached that 4 to 4.5 of this. So you could argue that. Is this worth marking out? I don't know. It's probably worth marking out, honestly. Okay, so I dropped down to the monthly. I dropped down to the monthly, and one thing I am noticing is that if you measure out the standard deviations of these two moves, the 4.5 is still a bit higher. Interesting. Okay. But as I said before, if you measure it out with this one, this final move down here, it calls the top pretty well. So, worth noting. but if you measure it out from this, you can see here that it's called the top pretty well so far. All right. And then yeah, same thing, like with this, very similar situation where 2 to 2.5 is lining up with this. Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Shoot. I mean, there's just so much liquidity here. I just, personally, I think we would take this out. And you have this weekly fair value gap right here. Like, I do think that, personally, I think it's reasonable to possibly expect us to return back to this weekly gap, regardless of what happens in the short term, right? And I mean, you'll know as well, like if I take out the stat map, I measure out, oh, that's the session stat map. Here we have the yearly statistical manipulation. I mean, I really do think we are drawing to this weekly gap on the higher time frame. It makes a lot of sense to me that that would be the case. Then again, you could argue that we're at the 12-month manipulation, so maybe we'll go higher. But I don't know. Kind of leaning towards just taking out this liquidity in the short term here. Let's measure out more of our stuff here. Once again, here's 6 month. Okay, let's measure out 3 months. So yeah, I think in the short term it makes sense to, let's see. Maybe we need to retest the CISD. I don't know. So we could draw that out. I mean, as well, the weekly inverse, right? Which is a big deal. The weekly inverse, which is like, honestly, that's pretty significant, right? Like, we got an inverse for value gap on the weekly. As well, we finally got this weekly IPG. To me, this confirms that we should eventually get distribution to take out this LRLR and hit the weekly gap at some point. At least that's what would make sense to me, but we'll see. Yeah, the weekly inverse. Hang on. Yeah, so the weekly inverse. I'm curious, one possibility. Let's mark out our new month opening gaps, just cause, right? we go. Go. Here we go. And here we go. Like all these. Okay. So this is the new year opening gap, right? Yeah. Really interesting that we got this here. So like I honestly see a really strong possibility that we retest this new year opening gap. We'll also note this is a monthly fair value gap here. And did we hit the midpoint of it? And this is a pretty significant new week opening gap as well. Monthly fair value gap. In the short term, right? In the immediate term, we just took out a ton of liquidity, right? In the relatively short term, this is the weekly chart. You can see that although we inversed the weekly, so far we are within a support level. This monthly gap overlapping with a new week opening gap, we will have to see how this holds in the short term, even though the higher time frame is bearish. Like, I mean, once again, we swept out previous month's low, which is pretty significant. This could easily become a consolidation week before next week it's possible that this is a consolidation before next week, or maybe we just get an immediate move back to the midpoint. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this could also become a daily CRT as well. Very, very possibly. I mean, you'll note this is also a mean threshold of this order block here. As well, it's relevant to acknowledge the market could be respecting the midpoint of this order block. We will just have to wait and see. And then as well, this could become a daily CRT, a 2-day CRT, a 3-day CRT, a weekly CRT. We just don't know yet. So we'll just have to draw that out real quick. Whoops. Did I not screenshot it? So as well, as I was saying, in the short term, well as, let's switch the screen so you can see, as well as I was saying, since we swept out previous month's low and are in a new week opening gap and monthly gap, it is possible this becomes a weekly, daily, 2-day CRT. Let's show that on all the time frames here. Even with the weekly gap getting inversed. I mean, that makes sense to me, but that might have been kind of confusing. I don't know who's watching right now, but like basically what I'm saying is like I'm gonna need to do some more analysis, but right now we swept out previous month's low. You can see that pretty clearly right here. We sweep out all of these lows actually. We sweep out this low, and we sweep out this previous month's low, which was a super, super strong target. So it's possible in the short term, this candle range becomes a CRT. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But we're just gonna have to wait and see because we don't really have confirmation yet. So yeah, like I'm saying, let's get rid of all this now. We don't need all that. We don't need this anymore. Let's clean up the chart a little bit. So yeah, like I was saying, there's previous month's low, and then you can see here's that new week opening gap I was talking about, and it's holding it so far. So I think that's, in my opinion, that's pretty relevant. So let's just screenshot this and just show how this could become a CRT on the daily, right? Where you have this, the midpoint of this candle, and then you have the high of this candle, right? And you have the midpoint, top right. I don't know. What do you think? Whoever's watching, what do you think? Because, like, it looks like, to me, the way this candle closed back within itself, it looks like this could become a CRT. But I'm curious what you think. Oh, whoops. I'm trying to screenshot right now. It's not letting me screenshot. This is so annoying. What? That's not even the screenshot that I took. Okay. Idea a little more clearly. Like, it could become a CRT, but we will just have to see in the next bit of time, in the next few days, in the next, I don't even know, day or two. And then, like, on the 12-hour, like, it's already kind of a CRT. You know what I mean? $12-hour, it is already kind of a CRT. It has this next candle has 11 hours to close, so we'll just have to see how it closes. And then, yeah, same thing with the 4-hour, right? This could become a 4-hour CRT. Now I wonder if we got SMT at the low there. Oh, we did. Yeah, we did. Wait, no, we didn't. Just kidding. We did not. We did not. Sorry. False alarm. Well, actually, we got SMT at this low here. Oh my gosh, yeah, we did. Look at that. Okay, after taking out this major draw on liquidity, previous month's low, we get a push into the new day opening gap here and get SMT here. This is very interesting. Okay. $12-hour CRT midpoint. Alright, here you can see this idea a little more clearly, and then you can measure out this manipulation move here. Here you can see as well, after sweeping out previous month's low, we actually do get SMT in this new week opening gap, which is pretty somewhat significant. I'm just trying to figure out what would you measure out the standard deviations using. You could use this. That's pretty convincing. Okay, measuring out of this manipulation move, they are pretty convincingly placed above each of these highs as seen here, which is interesting. Yeah, I mean that is pretty interesting. I mean that's ridiculously accurate. Like that's really interesting. Um, then again, it just kind of depends how you measure it. Like it could be measuring it wrong. For instance, if you measure it from the body, then we already hit the 2 to 2.5. But that would still mean that we could still be going back up here, which would be this data high. So yeah. So yeah, like let's say it was okay. We already hit the 2 to 2.5. Well, the 4 to 4.5 still lines up with this data high, so still think that's relevant. All right. Okay, but let's say you wanted to measure it. But let's say you wanted to measure it from the candle body to the wick instead of wick to wick. Well, you get essentially the same story where we already tested the 2 to 2.5 and the 4 to 4.5 is lined up with that data high from Friday. And so another relevant thing that I want to talk about with all this in mind, I'm going to go back to the other screen, is that this is something new that I'm going to start using that I just recently, I've known about it for a while, but I thought I had to buy an indicator to be able to use this. I thought I had to like pay $40 a month to be able to use this, but actually no, I can just do what I'm about to show you. So in the bottom right of your screen, it'll say electronic trading hours or it'll say regular trading hours. You can switch that to regular trading hours. And then this gap here is called the regular trading hours gap. And essentially it's like this gets filled with an incredibly high probability. And if you think about it, it's essentially basically just targeting London and Asia. That's essentially what it is. Because you're just targeting the overnight price action. But it's another way of doing it, right? And so there's the RTH gap, and you can see the RTH gap is positioned well above here. here you can see the RTH gap is a draw on liquidity above as well. I'm wondering, should I go down to the intermediate time frame soon? Because we're basically doing intermediate time frame analysis right now. Probably, you would think. Yeah, let's go to the intermediate time frame analysis now. ITF analysis, January 12th, 2024, evening. Okay. Let's pull up the midpoint of the daily candle again. Boom, there we go. Back down lower time frame here. We kind of already hit it, but also not really, because this was all in the previous day's candle, so not really. I'm pretty sure. Oh, we gotta. Oh, you know what? We gotta go back to electronic trading hours just for a second. Let's measure this out from the low to the high. Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. So back to lower time frame. Is a CRT midpoint. So you could definitely argue that we could be seeing a move back up towards this RTH gap, this data high here. We have was saying in high time frame analysis. Oh gosh, switch the screen. As I was saying in high time frame analysis, you can definitely make the argument that we are potentially making a buy model after sweeping previous month's low and getting SMT in the new week opening gap and monthly fair value gap. As well, it's possible this could become both 12-hour and daily CRT, just depending on yeah, I'll just leave it at that. You will note that the RTH gap is above us, which this gap tends to get filled. The data high is also above us too, and the 4 to 4.5 of the manipulation lines up with the data high. Okay, but it's not to say it's impossible for us to go down, and we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. I'll keep getting more information. Okay. Back to the other screen now. So you could also make the argument that this could be a possible 4-hour CRT here, depending on how this candle closes. So let me mark that out. And then the midpoint of that. We have 3 hours though before that really becomes. I mean, you could have a CRT and two candles. I just don't know how to do the CRTs and two candles. I'm not doing a trade, dude. I'm not doing a trade. But we got a pretty good map lined up. I don't know if you've been watching this or not, D Trader, but um, we got SMT after sweeping previous month's low, and we got it within this new week opening gap here. So, and as well, we might be forming a daily CRT and a 12-hour CRT. So that's like also really interesting. I don't know if you know what CRT is. It's basically high time frame candles, how they close. But right now, I was just marking out that essentially this could also become a 4-hour CRT. So a CRT is just when you have a large candle and then the next candle wicks below the low and then closes back within that range. Then you can expect the midpoint and the high to get hit with a high probability. I don't know if you've seen me talk about that at all, but we're getting it on the 4-hour right now, and then as well possibly on the 12-hour and the daily, but we'll just have to see. Here you can, whoops, gotta switch my screen. Here you can see we might possibly be getting a CRT on the 4-hour as well. Yeah. Okay, you just got here. Nice, bro. Yeah, I'm just doing some pre-market analysis. No, you lost your accounts? What happened, bro? That's not good. Oh no, I'm sorry. Is your funded your do you have evaluation accounts, funded accounts? What kind of accounts? Personal account? Dang, dude, I'm so sorry. That's actually really sad. That's tough. We'll get it back, bro. It's just every loss is a learning opportunity, and we're gonna keep getting better at this together, bro. Bro, we're all in this together. We're gonna get it back. That's so good. That's so good, bro. That's so good. You gotta post your trades in the Discord and make a journal so we can all learn from your trades, because yeah, it's super super valuable. Okay, I'm really happy for you that you got some new ones. Yeah, we're all in this together, man. We all make mistakes, but like every day we get better, you know? So, anyway, back to the other screen. Like I was saying, dude, I'm so hyped for Monday. I think every single week I get a little better, man. I think we're getting close. We are getting so close, dude. I'm really excited for this year. Yeah. I need to finish marking this out. So we had that 4-hour CRT. And then I was noting how this could be, see how the same kind of idea is showing up on the 12-hour with the 12-hour candle. Maybe you could argue we need to go sweep that low, right? If it's possible, maybe we need to go sweep that low. Maybe we need to sweep out this low here. Maybe you can make that argument. We need to go sweep out this low. Like if this is gonna be a daily CRT, maybe we need to go sweep out this low here. Let's write that down. And let's draw that out. Like that is a possibility, right? So let's just mark it out as a possibility. It's important to mark out all possibilities. One possibility is that we could end up needing to sweep the 12-hour candle lows as well as the daily candle lows before the move up can really start. But I don't think that necessarily has to happen. Just marking out possibilities here. So then here's the daily CRT possibility. like, because we already got because we did already get S&T at the lows of the new week opening gap, so we'll just have to see what happens.
I'm not really sure about that, but we'll just keep marking stuff out.
Let's mark out draws on liquidity in the short term. So going down the lower time frame, switching back to the other chart here. Like, you can make the argument we really do need to go sweep this low again, even though we did get SMT there. Maybe we need to get a better SMT. Like, maybe we need an SMT with this low or something like that. So I'm not sure. We'll just have to see. Let's mark out our draws on liquidity. So yeah, we have a previous day's low here. I guess London and Asia haven't even formed yet, so we don't even have them to look at. But we have previous day's low down here. It's possible, like, if we're bullish, maybe we need to come down and sweep previous day's low before that happens, you know? Let's just mark it out as a possibility. And then maybe we'll get S&T there, you know? We're just thinking of all possibilities here. And, like, for instance, like, if we got S&T here, this would make this a pretty good buy model. I'm just listing out possibilities. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, it's also possible we go straight up, but there's a lot of liquidity below this low because this is previous day's low and New York AM's low. And the low of that daily candle. One argument for why we might need to come down and sweep out this low before going higher is that there is a lot of liquidity below this low. It is previous day's low and it is the low of Friday's AM session, but I don't think it necessarily has to happen because we already got S&T. I'm open to both possibilities. Another thing we should do is look at our stat map here. You'll note that we already visited our daily manipulation. One possibility is the daily distribution levels down here. We might need to come sweep this out again. So both of these are possibilities, right? Let's just mark this out. I mean, As far as stat map is looking, I could see tomorrow being either bullish or bearish, as we have liquidity above, but we also have liquidity below. Gonna need to see how these CRTs are looking tomorrow morning. Not sure right now. I mean, as well, yeah, we might need to sweep previous day's low. Did we leave any key levels below that low? I'm curious. We might need to fill the new week opening gap, because remember, we didn't actually fill that. Oh, what the heck? There's a new day opening gap that formed right here, actually. I guess that makes sense, because it's the new day. Yeah. So it's kind of unclear. Like, I see both possibilities. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe we need to sweep out the low again. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. It's possible we need to go to this rejection block. That would be interesting. This rejection block right here. Okay, this is kind of an interesting thought. So you could also argue we need to manipulate up to here. It's just a thought.
I mean, let's measure out weekly levels.
Yeah, weekly. Oh my gosh. That's so fascinating. What the heck? The weekly levels is around the same exact spot. What the heck? Hmm. Okay, I think let's do weekly profiling now, and then we should be good on high time frame analysis. I don't really know what else we need to do, especially because I can do more analysis in the morning tomorrow. So, but I think we've done a lot so far. This is a interesting idea though, like the possibility of tomorrow just being like your simple CRT candle, and then the rest of the week becomes expansion. That's it's an interesting idea. I don't necessarily think it has to happen. We could reverse right away, but there's a lot of liquidity below this low. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and sweep it before we get that reversal week, right? If this is going to be a reversal week. Mm, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's just draw this out. Like this, just draw this out as the possibility, right? Just for fun. It also could be a midweek reversal profile. So I have to think about this. So maybe like once we hit the data high, maybe we like consolidate and then we expand again, like something like this. And this is just really like this is complete speculation, right? But don't know. Then we tap into this daily OB. All right, let's go to weekly profiling. There is a monthly fair value gap that we have tapped into. It is also a new week opening gap, and we swept out previous month's low. The weekly manipulation and daily distribution levels line up pretty well, and there is a daily RB down there too, around that area. This is complete speculation as the week hasn't even started yet, but just based upon the fact that we hit a major draw on liquidity last week, previous month's low, and are now tapping into that monthly gap, I think it's fair to expect possibly a retracement week. But as always, I will need to get more information as I go later this week. So to be determined. As well, weekly D plus lines up decently with the bearish order block. Yeah. Yet. Sunday speculation. Bullish expansion week, or midweek reversal week, depending on when on what but this is just totally speculation. I really have no idea right now. Like, basically what I'm saying is Honestly, I actually think it could be this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay. I think I'm good now with. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're good now. So I will see you guys later.